just, whew, this is not sharp. I need to get my other V tool. I need to sharpen that one. I didn't know. Here it is. This one's a little bit better. Now when you do this, be very careful. See how I'm holding it here? Whenever I made any cut, see how I'm holding it here? You want to make sure that your hands are on that thing. You don't want it to slip, because a V-tool can cut you just as easy as a knife can do it. So you want to keep your hand, when you make your cuts, you want to, especially a small figure like this, you want to be sure. And let's go down here where this is and make the cuts up like that. And then come here and just real lightly. I have to real lightly in here because it is very, oops, I'm sorry. It is very thin in here, so we want to be careful. I can come up this way, there we go. So you want to just use the tip of your V-tool. You do not want to there we go. Okay. All right. Okay, now next, I'll take my V-tool and just kind of come up in these areas, clean that up. Next, I'm going to show you how we're going to use a toothpick as his, because these are such small figures. We're going to use a toothpick here to make his little pole that he carries his little pack on. But lately I have been making it pack. It's like a little suitcase is what it is for him. So let me go ahead and get all this situated back in here. I kind of get tickled. I have a fishing box that is a small fishing box full of knives and gouges and all that other stuff. And I went to a carving thing one time. I showed up, and they invited me to a carving thing one time, and I showed up, and I was supposed to sit next to this other carver. And to right now, I don't quite remember his name. He was a very nice fella. But I came up there, and I had my fishing box with me. And they told you to bring your tools and all that other stuff. And I came up, and I sit down next to him, and he looked at me and he said, "Hello, Mr. Messer." I said, "Did you bring your tools?" And I said, "Yeah, I brought them." And I showed him my fishing box there with my knives and stuff in it. And he looked at me like I had lost my mind, because he had this beautiful, beautiful wooden box with all these gouges and all this stuff. And I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, you could take pictures of it. It was such a beautiful made box and everything like that. It's carrying all his carving tools. Here I was with this little old dinky looking plastic fishing box from Walmart. And he just, I don't think he knew what to make of it, in other words. And that's why I tell you, a lot of you, I consider myself a whittler more than I do a carver, because I just use look at this, from this whole project now, I've only used one V-tool, and that's been it. Of the whole project, I've used only the knife. And so that really is more like a whittler than it is a carver necessarily. So anyway, just difference. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you is how we're going to use the toothpick to be our pole back here, and then we'll make a little thing to fit on it. Okay, God bless you now. Well, I'll tell you what, let me wet him. Y'all hear all the cars zooming through here like they're crazy. Yeah, that's where my mother lives. Okay, there he is. There he is. Next, I'll show you how to I'm sorry. Next, I'll show you how to get this. I saw something I want to do. I want to cut this a little bit more in here. I see things that are wrong, or not necessarily wrong, they just need to be fixed. There we go. There we go. Sort of a cutting up more in there around the nose. There we go. Okay. Sometimes that happens when you are carving or cutting or do what else, you get off a little bit. Okay. And we'll use a toothpick also to put a cigarette or cigar in his mouth in such a way. So anyway, there he is, and next I'll be showing you how to put the little pole in his hand. Okay? And then before you put your fingers in or anything, you want to be sure and put the pole in his hand first and drill the little hand, and then you can put the fingers in, okay? But you do that so that you have enough, especially in these small figures, that you have enough wood. Now large figures, you don't have to worry about that. On small figures, you want to be sure that you have enough wood here, and then you can bring the wood down if you need to. But that's why you cut it kind of thick, because you want enough room where you can drill your little hole and put your little pole in there, and then do that. Okay? All right. God bless you now.